Hi, how you doing? That's the peace sign I'm giving you. This is what we used to do in the 60s when I was a youngster. Anyway, my name is Brian Whittingham and I'm Renfrewshire's Tannahill Maker, and this is my first Tannahill tutorial exploring a path into creative writing. I'm using this method, cluster, sketch and write, and this method I've workshopped for many years in many different institutions. Students always get a result with this methodology, so I encourage you to give it a go. So, initially we're talking about a blank sheet of paper and we want to get ourselves moving as far as creative writing is concerned. Why would we bother about creative writing? Many benefits. It's fun, it's enjoyable, improves your conversational skills, it builds trust, it is self-expression, it helps you relax, improves your concentration, exercises your memory. Oh, so many benefits from creative writing. So I would advise you to give it a buzz if you haven't, and if you do, then you'll know a lot of these benefits from it. And you meet a lot of nice people as well, a lot of interesting people. So I'm now looking at clustering in this particular video. There will be two videos that follow this, one that deals with sketching and one that deals with writing memories. But for clustering, this is the first one we're going to be looking at. So what we're looking at doing is how to cluster. What, you may ask, is clustering? Well, clustering is very straightforward. It's a wee bit like, some people call it mind mapping, some people call it brainstorming. I quite like brainstorming because you imagine there's a storm inside your brain and it's weakening about and it's blowing all your thoughts and your ideas, and some things you'd forgotten about are getting blown out, and you're writing them down, and all this kind of stuff is going on inside your head because you're just trying to express yourself. You're not fussed about quality at this point. You're not fussed about anything being grammatically perfect or whatever. All you're doing is trying to mine your brain for ideas. And amongst the stuff that you mine, you will get some nuggets of gold occasionally. So clustering, this is me starting off. It's like putting thought bubbles on the page. Now I've put 5 thought bubbles, one in the centre. In my particular example, I've put coasts and waters. So what you do when you're doing yours, you don't necessarily need to put coasts and waters. What you would do is put down anything. It can be a single word, it could be an emotion, it could be a name, it could be a phrase, it could be a place, it could be a film title, it could be anything at all. But what you do is you put that in the central bubble, and then you're looking at the bubbles on the periphery, and you want to write something in them that's got a connection with that central bubble. So what I've done is I've written this. This is my interpretation of that first stage. And that interpretation shows you different places that mean something to me because I've been there or I've experienced them. You will have your own events and your own thoughts. So I put down things like a walk beside the river cart, a trip in the Waverley. That's one of my students done this, a trip in the Waverley. That's the first time he'd ever been in the Waverley. I've got Loch Lomond, either Luss or Balmaha. These are 2 places that I've been to over the years, very close to my heart. And down there I've got, what have I got? A trip to Port Patrick, a beautiful place. There's many, you can either write about something from where you live. At this point, when I'm writing about this, I used to live in Renfrewshire, in Renfrew, the town of Renfrew. And it was one of the many walks that I used to go on with my family, or on my own, depending on the mood. But you can write about somewhere close at home to you. If you're in self-isolation, then and you're doing a daily walk, then perhaps you could write about that. It could be anything. Or you can write about a memory, obviously. I've got many different things that I could write about. This is just this filled in. But if this was thought bubbles in the back of the wall there, and I had 100 thought bubbles, I could very easily fill them all in. It's not difficult. It doesn't matter how tenuous your link is with your thought to the main subject. You can do that, write it down. All you're trying to do is write stuff down, write stuff down. So I've went from coasts and waters. In my previous slide, I'll kid on this as a slide because I'm doing this at home. I went from coasts and waters to this, to filling that in. And that takes me to a stage where what I want to do now that I've done that, what I want to do now is pick one of these 4 options around the periphery. And to do that, I've created a new chart, which is this one. And I've picked the walk along the River Cart. So I've now got lots of more thought bubbles round about that. And what my job now is to plunder my memory and my imagination. This is important. Not just your memory, but your imagination. Because sometimes we remember things different from other people, don't we? Sometimes we remember a certain situation, and others have a different interpretation of that situation, but that's okay. We're not too worried about that. All we're trying to do is just exercise our memory and our imagination. So our next job is, once we do this, is to fill in all these empty bubbles. And we want to fill them in with things connected with the central bubble. So I want to fill this in with things connected. I'll bring it back closer so you can see it. With things connected with a walk beside the River Cart. So what I've done is, this is my sheet that's been filled in. And again, I could fill this in with a lot more stuff. So I'll just go through 1 or 2 of the points, just to give you a feel for how I'm approaching this and how you may approach it with whatever phrase or word you've got in your central bubble. There's planes overhead. This particular walk is under the flight path of Glasgow Airport. So there's planes over, all sorts of planes. The cyclists on the path is a very narrow path, so you've got to be careful because they come down at quite a speed and they ring their little bells, which is difficult to hear if you're corned beef like me. There's other walkers, so you need to be aware of other people and what they're up to and the different things they're doing. You pass by the golf range. Well, it used to be a golf range. It's not now. It's decrepit. It's been lying derelict for a good number of years, overgrown, such like. But I found that quite interesting because I used to go to the golf range when I was younger, when I lived in Renfrew. So that's another element. There's the sounds of the birds, the sounds of the wildlife, the sounds of people talking. Sometimes the sound carries from. You pass by the golf course, the Normandy Golf Course, Renfrewshire Golf Club, and you pass by, sometimes you can hear people talking and discussing their golf for the day or whatever. There's boats, there's sculptures and driftwood. And once you come to the end of the walk, or to the mouth of the river, it hits the River Clyde. And just across from that, John Brown Shipyard. And one of the reasons that John Brown Shipyard positioned where it was relative to the cart was the slipways allowed the ships to slide in to the river where it wasn't wide enough for the ships. But because they were able to partially go into the mouth of the River Cart, then they were able to launch the ships, and then the tugs would tow the ships into the dock to get that work done. So that's just a wee look at that. That's the clustering from that. So this is me well on the road to start to have ideas of what I could maybe write about. So my next video will deal with sketching memories, and I'll speak to you then. Thank you very much, and toodle pip.